we're back. Woo. Should be all synced up. If it isn't, then what the hell? Okay, yeah, we're up. Just going to check if the audio is working. I'll put the thumbnail then. Okay, audio is working. It seems to be alright. Just got to send a link to me mates. Decent sized lobby. Not too shabby. Can't keep leaving this late. It's literally just me viewing it. Right, let's just paste all this into Discord. Thumbnails on. Send this to my mates. Changes saved. Good. If you've put any comments, I'll check them in a second. Because I'm just sorting things out and we'll get into it. Okay, we're in. There is a format change this week. In case you don't follow my Twitter, we have one shot quali now and 2 races. Because I think if anyone who was here was watching the stream last week, qualifying was absolutely dreadful to watch. Half an hour of just sitting here doing basically nothing. So they've changed it to one shot. This is their only chance to get a good lap in. Keep in mind, strict corner cuttings on. Or track limits, whatever way you want to put it. Put all that on. So they have this one shot, and if they bugger it up, they bugger it up. That's just how it is. Anyone here watching the stream would be appreciated if you could leave a like. As always, support is appreciated. Trying to get to 100 subs would make my 2021 a lot better. But here we are. Welcome to the race. Well, not a race, one shot qualifying. It's gonna be. We're going to keep our eye on only one person. We're going to keep our eye on Nazareth because if you remember from last week, he was last week's pole sitter. As into La Source we go then. Looking quite pacey already. You can see everyone's up and down the grid already. Currently Nazareth is quickest, but Slayer in second though. He's moved down to the Briggsy's looking quite pacey as well. It depends what we'll see. As up El Rouge we go, considering the fact he's a F2 car, still looks quite fast. Coming down the Kimmel Straight now. He's fallen down to second, so Briggsy currently has a slight lead over him. He's fallen down to third in that corner, but back up into first. Becco's currently gone to third. Surprising how much the grid's changing already. It just shows how quick these people are with each other. Hello's firmly at the back. Somehow will go on board with him, not sure what's happening. No, people are obviously trying to not invalidate their lap as well. That's the last thing you want to do. We're going to see what tyres have all got on. So, 2 people on track have mediums on. That's an interesting strategy there. As they'll be on the slower time, definitely probably get the worst. And that's Nazareth completely invalidating his lap, and that's his chance of pole position completely gone. Becco briefly got in front. It looks like could even be Becco getting pole position. We'll have to see. We'll ride on ball with him to the end. See what's going to happen here. 4 people watching. Good to see. Good to see. If you could all leave a like, that'd be greatly appreciated. As he comes down, Dakun has retired. Not sure what's happened there. Obviously we can see as he comes round the last corner. Becco is... Does it say? Becco's on the second row of the grid with Briggsy just edging him out for pole position. Barely anything separating those two drivers. Becco looks on a fantastic run. There's your starting grid for the race, or the first race anyway. Bossman Ben is here, the man himself, the moderator as well, the only one, because my channel's irrelevant. Anyway, there's your starting grid. Surprisingly, Nazareth is going to be on the mental recovery this week. We've got, I mean, literally 0.023 separating the top 2 drivers. But Briggsy then, coming in with his first pole position, and he could finally get that win he so desperately needs. Big up the dead channels, yes, big 'em up, big 'em up. When I get 100 stars, I might not be as dead. But anyway, now we go on to the first race of the weekend. 2 races now. One's a bit longer, second one's a lot shorter. So yeah, conditions looking quite damp, I will say. Well, it's not raining, but very overcast conditions. So I have to see if there is any rain. I doubt it. I mean, when we had rain at Canada, it was absolute chaos. I did a race around this track earlier in F1, and it started raining at the start, and then we went on to dries. Could be inverted for this race. I don't know, because I haven't seen the weather. I doubt it will, but we never know. It could potentially rain. We will have to see. We have to use our eyes and see. Anyway, we've got 10 minutes to start the first race. A few people have it ready up actually. But it's going to be interesting to see how Nazareth does. He's coming down from quite far down the pack. Also, for the second race, the top 8 is inverted. And away we go then for the Belgian GP. Briggsy then getting a really good start. Nazareth also getting a good start. Briggsy leads into turn 1. Becco putting the pressure on. They're going to go around the outside. Yellow flag further back. Not sure what's happened there. There's contact absolutely everywhere. Further in the corner looks to be everyone's fine except, and that's Jack Ethan and Dido spinning round. TKD was also involved in something at the first corner as nearly into the wall again, but we're right on board with Briggsy. As Jack Evans had an absolute shock of a start, having a crash at the top of El Rouge. Slayer's absolutely already spun at El Rouge, already spins and everywhere already. Barely anything separating the 2 leaders as Becco goes down the inside and takes the lead in the Belgian GP. And now Briggsy's currently did get a good start, but down that Kemmel Straight overtakes could happen literally everywhere. But Becco leads on lap 1 as Dido gets a 3-second time penalty already for corner cone. Not sure what happened there. Almost side by side between Callum and Kieran. It'll go further back as that's Era Voice going wide. Probably getting a warning, but Nazareth's already up into 8th. We'll see position change. There we go. Slayer's had a shocker. He had a good qualifying as well. Shame for him to see as Brokers goes wide. And nearly collects Nazareth as well. It's got very close between them. Came out at the front. The gap's not much between any of the drivers really. Got Brogers putting pressure on Nazareth, but Nazareth's on an absolute charge. He's already up 5 positions as Callum, I do believe Callum has spun round. Go on board with him now, he's spun round near the entrance to sector 3. I don't really know any corner names on this track, but we've already got another spin. It's only lap 1 as Dakun has seemed to have had this, as Briggsy only after 1 lap already has a time penalty. So 2 people in 1 lap already have a time penalty that will compromise their race. But Becco leads them at the end of lap 1, followed by Briggsy and Kieran, Albert De White and Era Voice round off the top 5. We've got 6 temps separating Era and Albert De White, while Nazareth is only 3 temps behind. We'll ride on board with these 3 then. As we go up, as someone in the background, nearly a spin in the background there, couldn't quite see who that was. One of the MP cars, either TKD or Alpha Stuns, I couldn't quite tell actually. But up Eau Rouge we go, then here as Kieran is out of the race. I'm not sure what happened there. See if he can, he looks like he's crashed at the top of Eau Rouge, and that looks to be a yellow flag, so I'm pretty sure it's a safety car and it's not coming up at the top for some reason. It's quite strange, but I do believe there is a virtual safety car then. As you saw on the bollard there, on the hazard lights. So that's going to slow down the pack considerably already. I'm not sure why there isn't. There we go, virtual safety car. It's back now, I don't know why it wasn't appearing, but we already have a DNF in 2 laps, crashed at Eau Rouge, already claiming its victims. Slayer has pitted, then they're going to get lapped. If they weren't under VSC, they would probably be lapped. As we go back underway then, Callum has got a drive-through penalty for speeding under VSC, getting quite close between TKD and Alpha Stuns as Alpha Stuns go wide, we're right on board. Keep in mind TKD's got the soft tyres. As around the outside, can he pull it off? It's getting quite close between the 2 teammates, and he's got round the outside. Fantastic move from him there. As Era Voice putting pressure on Nazareth Great, but Nazareth has just got past him for 4th already. Fantastic race for him already, because in the fact he started down in was about to be last place at that point, but he seems to be coming back. But Nazareth already putting pressure on Albert Devite. Albert Devite goes incredibly wide coming near to the bus stop chicane. Will he size up and move? No, he brakes early. We'll have to go further back as TKD has just gone, as Broger's just gone down the inside of TKD, and Broger's goes incredibly wide. Is he still out ahead? He's got a penalty for that, for going as wide as he did. It was a shambolic attempt at an overtake, if you ask me. As Broger's just being swallowed up by the field into turn 1. Can he go around the outside, getting close between the 2 drivers? Alpha Stuns trying to size up and move, but doesn't quite make it. Keep in mind DRS is enabled now, so we go up Eau Rouge. Nazareth is as slightly cuts Eau Rouge. He's gaining on Albert's right. It should be a very easy pass using DRS as he goes past, and up there he is going past on the Kemmel Straight, one of the most useless tracks for DRS. It's just completely unnecessary, but we move. As does he start to move around the inside? No, he doesn't, but goes quite wide as Brogers keeps 7th place. He wants to have a good result as he crashed out at Silverstone, but he's got 2 races to get a good result. Keep in mind the second race will give out less points. As we go, 6-10 between Aero Voice, as Nazareth is somehow in 3rd place already. Beko has built up quite a lead as Alpha Stuns has just got in front of Brokers there. Maybe Brokers made a bit of a mistake. Couldn't quite see as I wasn't watching them at the time. We'll have to see how this race shapes out. We'll have a look at I mean, they've all got half the grid's already got penalties, and we're 3 laps in. It just shows, bro, my internet is crap. Yeah, it is, John, we know. Have a look at the stops. We've got both I don't even know what cars they are. But half the grid is now on mediums, which is very interesting. We got 5 drivers on softs as Slayer gets a penalty for exceeding track limits, we presume. 3 temps separating Era Voice and TKD as Era Voice spins at the bus stop chicane. Maybe pushing way too hard on exit, and that's going to put him down the pack a little bit. As Callum is pitting then, slight dab at the wall, but nothing too major. As Jack Ethan has got a 3-second time penalty for speeding in the 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Callum's got the same. Relatively close between all the drivers. TKD not quite got a second gap. Nazareth has got a penalty. Alpha's got a penalty. So basically everyone already has a penalty, and we're not even halfway into the first race, let alone the second race. Maybe people might be careful of track limits next race around as Brokers gets a penalty as well. Literally everyone's getting one. So my race lasted all of a corner. That's an incredibly long race for you, Bate. Incredibly long. You're practically an endurance racer after that. 6 temps separating Era Voice and Alpha Stuns. Keep in mind Era will want to pull off a recovery after spinning the bus stop chicane earlier on the lap. See how he does. There's Briggsy, 2-second gap between Becco and Briggsy. Just saying, if someone's out of the track, that is illegal, yes. I'm gonna play some foot champs, I'm gonna keep the stream open. Okay, Ben, I've got a beer so I can relax. Yeah, who wouldn't, mate? Who wouldn't? Oh, well could use with a beer at the moment, the way things are going. 3 temps separating TKD and 4 temps, sorry, and Albert DeWitt, whatever, and Ira Voice in 5 temps. It's less than a 10 you go side by side with him through the last sector. Will Albert fight back? Looks to have already fallen behind, but we could see a possible move on TKD into the bus stop chicane, but he's pulled off ahead already somehow. He's just blasted off. Not endorsing any drink driving, by the way, viewers. Yeah, you don't want to do that. But as Albert White pits, maybe he's struggling with his tyres. As someone spun, that's Dido, has had an absolute shocker. Basically putting a Giovinazzi but not crashing into the tyre barrier. It's just my watch. You heard that? Of course, I haven't been doing this since Christmas. It feels weird to be back. We're right back on board with Ira Voice. He looks to be quite close between Alpha Stunts. He'll have DRS on the Kemmel straight. It'll be interesting to see if he can capitalise on it. If Briggsy's brought the gap down to 1.9, keep in mind those soft tyres will probably be going off soon. He has gained a bit down the straight. We'll keep on board. No one seems to be that close at the moment, as Broggers has been disqualified for blocking the pit lane. I wonder what happened there. He's in the, maybe just stopped. I'm not sure what happened there, but the first full disqualification I've seen, I believe. There's 6 temps separating these two now. Yellow flag on the pit straight, and that's Alpha Stuns absolutely losing it, and that's going to give 5th to Ira Voice already after a simple mistake, really. But it happens to the best of us. As Callum looks to be pushing on Slayer. He's ahead of Slayer. Not by much. No, he is ahead by quite a bit, actually. His Nazareth is up into, as I think Briggsy's made a mistake. He must have, because he's just gone down to 4th. He must have made a mistake. Maybe he spun, but Nazareth's up into 2nd already. After Briggsy must have made a mistake. I couldn't quite see what happened. Probably a spin of some sort. Now Briggsy's going to be on the recovery again. Our pole sitter's fallen down to 4. I think Jack Evans on course to start in pole for next race. Whoever starts in 8th starts on pole. It's sort of reverse grid, but sort of not. It's a very weird one. The Tobacco is pitted then. See how that's going to give 2nd back to Briggsy, and 3rd. He's already been given 3rd, but now it's just trying to chase down Nazareth, if he can do so. It's getting quite close between... No, maybe not. It was just pitting. Oh no, it's generally quite close between Ira Voice and Alpha Stuns. Alpha Stuns probably, he looks to be a quicker driver, so we'll see if he can come back. As up El Rouge we go. Will he have DRS? I can't quite tell. We'll see if he does. Keep an eye on that rear wing. He doesn't actually have DRS, so he might still get the effective slipstream, but I doubt that. Yeah, he doesn't seem to have got it at all, really. It's 9 temps separating Albert and Jack Ethan. They're effectively fighting over pole position for race 2, keep in mind, so it's quite personal. He should have DRS. He doesn't actually, for some reason. Maybe he was out of a second at the DRS detection point. Alpha Stuns has brought the gap down to... Well, he did bring the gap down to 8 temps. It's gone back up, though, but Albert looking quite quick on these medium tyres, as he's already got incredibly close to Jack Ethan as he goes down the inside at the hairpin, very close between the two drivers. Albert has to go wide and back out of it, so he can't really fight him, and that's Albert up into 8th place, which is pole for race 2. Meanwhile, Callum is getting quite close to... No, he's not close at all, actually. I'm not sure what happened there. He was close going down the straight, but no longer, as 8 temps separate these two drivers now. Already, as Albert is just absolutely... He's blasted away into the distance, quite frankly. Most of the grid is surprisingly spread out. It just shows the alternating strategies for both drivers. As Albert does clip the grass ever so slightly. There's a huge lift from Albert there. As Dido gets a 3-second time penalty for track extending. Very easy to do at the corner he was at there. He's up in 10th though. He still currently holds it, I think. We'll have to see what... Oh no, maybe not. He's got 11 seconds of penalties, so I doubt that. Slayer hasn't had a good race at all in this Christmas League. Just not at all. Shame really. Becco then, looking to see if he can come back. It's Callum's retired. I'm not... Yeah, there's a crash there. There's definitely been a crash. As that's a full safety car has now been deployed. That'll bring the grid back close together and hopefully make the racing a lot better. We'll just get rid of that. As you can see, safety car in the top left. As Callum has just had an accident of a spun. Out just on the exit of one of the corners just before sector 3. You look on the map there, was a still dot. Oh, but he's disappeared now. But that's gonna this is gonna bunch the grid right together and hopefully make the race a bit better. Because let's be real, the grid is pretty bunched up and... Oh, how lovely, Ben. How lovely. You should probably stop playing FIFA, to be honest. It doesn't do you good. It really doesn't. If you're watching the stream, make sure to leave a like. We've got 6 people watching. Should be 6 likes. I'm kidding. Yeah, but leave a like if you can. It'd be really good. Good support. Just having a drink. Grid should get bunched up soonish. Hopefully it does. Probably the back 2 won't bunch up at all. Slayer's only just gone past the safety car to unlap himself pretty much, so there you go. As Nazareth is pitted then, followed by Briggsy. Most drivers will be pitting then. But Becco, currently, I don't think Becco will, but has the safety car ruined his strategy? Because from what I can see, Nazareth might come out ahead. Because keep in mind, Becco has to follow a Delta for a while in the safety car. That Delta should be lifted by now. It'd be good. Let's see who comes out in front. But Nazareth is just leaving the pit lane now. Who's out in front? And that's Nazareth in keeping the lead then. Becco's strategy has been completely ruined by this safety car then. It's now down to him to get a good recovery at the safety car restart. So that safety car completely compromised his races. Nazareth has paused the game for some reason. What are you doing? See, most of the grid is starting to get closer. So Nazareth is on the quicker tyre. You're right, F1 is better. Exactly, it is better. I've told you this many times. It's not scripted unlike FIFA. Most of the grid then has gone on to soft tyres. I haven't got many laps to do that on, so it's probably quite a good strategy actually. As Dido gets another penalty for speeding in the pit lane. See how the grid is definitely getting closer. Briggsy is obviously still going for the win. I mean, he probably should have won this race if he didn't make that mistake. He probably could have won. Same for Beck. If the safety car didn't come out, Becco probably would have probably won. And it goes into the back of Becco as Becco braked quite heavily there. In fact, incredibly heavily. Weaving all over the place, trying to get temperature in their tyres. Looks to be the grid has got close and TKD needs to catch up, so does Jack Ethan. Maybe the Slayer could catch up. I doubt Dido will. I severely doubt he will at all. Top 3 then, it's going to be effectively a fight to the end. Nazareth will have to see if his tyres will go off. Briggs is on quicker tyres than Becco. Albert de Vite could be interesting to see if he can snatch a last minute podium. era voice on the softs though will be quicker than Albert the right. When EA buy F1, they'll probably make it so you get penalties for bugger all. Like when you make a clean tackle in FIFA and get sent off, yeah, you'll get disqualified for going off. You'll get disqualified for going for track limits. That'll be what happened. Most of the grid is actually bunched up though now. By which I mean most of the people that are actually in this race doing something are all bunched up. Sorry Slayer and Dido, but let's be real, you're not really in the race anymore. I mean, at least Slayer will get a point. I guess that's alright for him. And we just gotta wait for the safety car to go, and I won't be surprised if it's in this lap, actually. We'll have to see. But both Carlins having a good race. Briggsy then obviously looking for the win, as I've said before. Safety cars really has brought that grid close together. Keep in mind when it goes in, it'll probably get even closer. So we'll have to be good to see who can capitalise on a good restart. When lockdown's over, Ben, we'll get you on commentary again with me, because funny. Nazareth seems to be almost racing the safety car there, pulling a Lewis Hamilton and trying to get it to speed up. Brecco brakes heavily again. Briggsy should probably be used to that by now. Yeah, I don't think Dido will catch up. Yeah, we'll get you on when lockdown's over. Because obviously can't at the moment. Thanks, Boris. But surprisingly, Slayer has actually managed to catch up Dido. I doubt it, really. Unfortunately. I'm surprised the safety car hasn't gone in, though. It should. I won't be. I could swear it will go in this lap. Very strange why it's not. I don't think anyone really wants another lap on the safety car. At least Dido's caught up. Dido has managed to catch up. Won't be able to do much. He's got so many penalties. Safety car is in this lap. That's a very late call. So the grid's all bunched up now. Even Dido's pretty much there. See if Becco can get a good restart. We'll have to keep an eye on when Briggsy wants to go. There's contact back there. Briggsy's gone into Becco. As Nazareth has gone then, Briggsy's going to be completely compromised. See if Becco can get a good restart. Not been terrible. Down further the grid, everyone seems to have got a pretty even restart, but Briggsy now has front wing damage after colliding with Becco. You can see one of his end plates have completely missing. We'll see if he can still overtake. Not a great exit. Becco nearly loses the car. We'll ride on board with him as he head up El Rouge in the slipstream. It'll be good to see if they can battle it out. Up the hill we go, no DRS yet. Remember, it's just pure slipstream and it's basically a drag race. Down the Kennel straight. Well, he's in the slipstream. Becco covers the inside. Keeping in the slipstream, Briggsy goes to the outside. Will he pull off the move? He has damage, remember, it'll be hard for him. On board and contact between the two. Briggsy probably quite frustrated with what Becco did to him. Becco gets the switch back and through the corner. Phenomenal battle here, still side by side. Briggsy though up into second somehow, considering the fact he's compromised by damage. And so Briggsy then, after contact, getting a fantastic restart, and Nazareth somehow leading the race. Mental. 2 temps separating Slayer and Alpha Stunt and Jack Ethan. These three having a proper race back here. Been a very nice race. As Alpha Stuns gets a phenomenal move on Jack Ethan. As contact between the two slightly, nearly spinning Jack Ethan out. Slayer's nearly, well, he tried to go around the outside. Will he go so again? No. Gets covered off as Albert gets another time penalty. Everyone racing has a time penalty now. As Jack even gets a terrible exit, going to be side by side then down here. Becco seems to be gaining. Slayer and Jack Ethan side by side, really pushing wide through the corner. Contact between the two sliding, both being pushed wide on off the track. Jack Ethan's not even anymore, and that's Slayer being completely spun off. He's going to have to cut the entire bus stop chicane, and that's a ridiculous penalty. He's just still going. How has he not been disqualified? He's just cut the whole chicane. But contact between those two then. 3/10 separating these two. TKD putting the pressure on. But Becco then also gaining on Brixie. It's just battles happening everywhere, quite honestly. Up our Rouge we go. Becco's coming back though. We're going to ride on board with this, and then we're going to go back to the other battle. Side by side, down the Kemmel straight. Will he pull off the move around the outside? He goes for it. Brixie leaves the room. That's Becco up into second. TKD also up into fourth then, but it doesn't get a good exit. Spins round and collides with Albert de Vite, I believe. That's going to give Era Voice fourth. So we've only just restarted. This contact literally everywhere. It's Jack Ethan going side by side with Dido. Dido goes down the inside, really blocks Jack Ethan off and forces him off the track, but Dido keeps the position. Slayer's spun round again at the hairpin. His race has gone from terrible to what looked to be okay to just absolutely dreadful. As into the wall he goes, barely avoiding TKD. Luckily Ghosting helped him out of that. No safety car or anything, no, as TKD spins round as well. We've got just what is happening, complete chaos the restart's brought. 3/10 separating Dickut as these two still battling away. 3 cars all right on board with it. As Dickut going for the move on Albert de Vite. Down, oh, there's going to be contact between them. That's Alpha being pushed off the road. Luckily no spins at all though. Dickut then will probably shaping up and moving to the bus stop chicane. He goes around the outside. Can he pull it off? Leaving the space. He's still there. Albert's kept the position for now. Gets the better exit. 1/10, less than a tenth, less than a second separating Brixie and Becco with only 1 lap left. Nazareth has stormed off. He's absolutely dominating. Dido and Jack Ethan having a battle, as well as Dido nearly spins, but not quite. Dickut though incredibly close to Albert. He should be relatively easy pass here, already side by side before the DRS. So there's contact between the two slightly. Alpha Stunts is getting involved now as he gets past Albert then. As down the inside he goes. Not too good. Men sponsored by F1. Yes, as Brixie gets a time penalty as well. As also TKD following in pursuit. Alpha Stunza will now be looking to get past the Kunha. Seems to be calming down a little bit now, and yes, Men is sponsored by F1. Actually no, John. F1 is sponsored by Men. As Alpha Stuns goes terribly through long way, but he gets a really good exit. They're kind of struggling in that section. Does he go down the inside? He thinks about it, but decides to back out. Bosey, yeah? This week's streamer sponsors is Bosey, yeah? Check them out, right? Proper headphones. I've done that so much better in the past, and the only time I do it on stream it sounds like crap. Great. 1.4 seconds the gap between Becco and Brixie. Now Becco though coming over, looks to be coming over phenomenal second place. Only 2 tenths separating these two here. They're going to be fighting the long game as he thinks about a move, doesn't go for it though. Keep in mind, Dickut has got more penalties, so basically in the lead already. Dickut has had a phenomenal recovery. He's down the inside at the source. He does go for it, and as Dickut goes really wide. Maybe Dickut purposely went wide to get the DRS on the Kemmel straight. Keep in mind he will have it. But Jack Ethan gets another penalty. No surprise there then. Up this El Rouge we go. Just Alpha Storm goes terribly there. Getting very close between them down the straight. Should be a really easy pass. And it is. 2 tenths separating Dido and Jack Ethan will go on board with this. He goes to the outside. Should be passed by the end of the straight, yet he is. But does Jack Ethan go for the come back? No, he doesn't. Alpha Stuns gets a time penalty. See what that's for, but these two are still going at it. I didn't realise they were side by side. Let me read this. Oh no. Oh no, John, oh no. I've just got the reference. As Takuna gets a terrible exit again, Alpha Sun's been absolutely nailing that section of the track, nearly gets forced off the track. He still doesn't go down the inside there. It's a surprise really, he could have easily have done that. Slayer's DNF, he's out. I don't know when he retired. Forgot he was in the race after a while. But it's the last lap though that they're all fighting for. Dido then is going to be on pole for next race. But these two are going to be fighting to the end. These are for valuable points in the championship challenge. Alpha could potentially get him as Nazareth gets a 5-second time penalty. Potentially Beko could win, but no he doesn't, as Nazareth wins the first race. Right on board with these two to the end as he gets a good switchback, gets a phenomenal exit, drag race to the line. Takun has just pulled it and he doesn't shift up either. But Takun still ends up behind Alpha. Briggsy's fallen down to 4th. So Nazareth, Beko and Era Voice on the podium then. That's a double podium for Carlin, and that's the end of race 1. Absolutely, let's be honest, a pretty dreadful race until the safety car. And that safety car quite literally changed the race, and yes, that is deserved. Mental recovery from Nazareth. Yeah, that was a dreadful race until the safety car. There's your podium then, double Carlin podium. Surprise really, I did not expect Era Voice to get a podium, but he deserves it, he definitely does deserve it. He's had some difficulty, he had a difficult race in Canada. He nearly got a podium in Silverstone but didn't pit, so yeah. There we go, Nazareth once again on top, back-to-back wins for him then. And we'll see if he can carry his pace into race 2. Keep in mind it'll be a shorter race. There's your finishing order for the first race. Nazareth, your winner. Beko second. Era Voice third, followed by Briggsy in 4th. Alpha Stunts in 5th. Albert DeWitt in 6th. 7th for Dekunha. 8th for Jack Ethan. 9th for Dido. 10th for TKD. And your DNFs for this race are Slayer, Callum, Kieran and Broggers. Basically the exact same results there. There's your results for the weekend. We've got race 2 coming up now, but qualifying gives you 4 points. The F2 Championship format's a bit different in the way we have it in the IFR, not how it is in real life, so bit of a surprise. No Freddy this week, in case you couldn't tell. He's a bit busy at the moment. As here we are, lined up for race 2 now, and introducing F1 Battle Royale. Allier intro intensifies. Got 20 seconds to race 2, let's just calm down from the last race. Nine seconds, roughly. Right, we're just waiting to get underway. Keep in mind, Ben, you'll have to have race 2 as well. All 5 lights are on then. As away we go for race 2, Jack Ethan surprisingly on pole, followed by Dekunha. It was a relatively good start, a very good start from Jack Ethan, but Albert White barges his way through down the inside and pushes multiple cars wide contact. A lot cleaner compared to lap 1 this race then. Everyone's managed to make it through without spinning, as nearly 3 cars wide going to El Rouge. Like, Dido's ghosted everywhere for some reason, and round the outside going as debris at the top. as that's 2 cars off there. That's Era Voice already out of the race, and unfortunately, last race's podium sitter already out. As that's Slayer getting on the grass and spinning and taking Callum out with him. Already before the end of the straight, that's your VSC just deployed, unsurprisingly then. Not sure what happened then, he just went onto the grass, braked and turned, and it just spun his whole car out. So Slayer, we're not even at the we're barely into the second sector. And why is he going for a move on Broggers? It's under VSC. I think he's just lost patience with everything. Just constantly crashing with him. What is he doing? Anyway, back onto green flag. Slayer's going for the move on Broggers. Oh yeah, they're barging everywhere. What is Slayer doing? He's pushing him wide. Out. Slayer's just lost his temper. He's lost the plot behind the wheel. Quite dangerous, to be honest. Dido going for a move. Coming back at Slayer. Doesn't pull it off. Given my Dido looks to be AI, so not going to be bothered about him. But the grid's still relatively close. Briggsy is leading. He could finally get another win. Let's not jinx it. No TKD putting the pressure on Kunha. We ride up the hill now to the bus stop chicane. We'll keep a look at position change. Briggsy had a fantastic start. Out Slayer the Slayer. It's round the outside, pulling a Verstappen 2015 on Kunha, but it doesn't do it as well. It's down the inside that bus stop chicane. Goes a bit wide, but it's a good move, and he's up into third. As side by side between Jack Ethan. Oh no, not Jack Ethan. Nazareth as Kieran, then as Nazareth goes down the inside at La Source. Close, very close between the two, barely leaving each other any room. It's going up, and side by side, still as Nazareth into the wall. Becco. No, Kieran also with them. Not sure what really happened there. Nazareth cuts, I think Nazareth does have damage. Albert Device is coming for him as he's really going for him, yet Nazareth does have damage. As down the inside goes Albert, he goes really wide, he's off the track. I don't know if he'll keep that position. He looks to be keeping it as Brogers goes, as Kieran goes, barges his way through as well. Already we're 2 laps in out of line as both cars go wide at the hairpin. Brings it probably to slice his way through. We've got a yellow flag in sector 2. Not really sure what's happened there. We'll have to see, but no, nothing much appears to have happened. Good battle between these two though. Jack Ethan and as Becco's coming back. Unfortunate race for Era Voice though. Who obviously got on the podium last race and taken out before even the end of the first lap. Massive shame for him then. It's just everything's happening everywhere really. 3 cars having a good battle here as Kieran doesn't get a very good exit. Natchez looks to be coming back. Does he go around the outside? No, it's a hard corner to overtake. Goes into the back of Kieran slightly. What a move there. Fantastic move considering the fact he has damage as well. Very good move from them there. 3 attempts separating Becco and Kunha. Kunha obviously is going to be wanting a podium in this race. He's going for the move. He gets close and into the back of him slightly. That's going to push Kunha right wide. So not a very good tactic there from Becco. As 1 attempt separating Albert White and Nazareth as Nazareth goes down the inside, gets the better exit. Albert White just barging into him again. These two really not getting on well this race. As he comes back down the inside at La Source, they're just barging into each other. Yellow flag already then. As someone spun up ahead, that's Jack Ethan. As all Nazareth City spins, Brogers is getting involved as well now. He's going to get past nearly 3 cars. What a race for him already. Albert Devite really not on a good move. He cuts over, he pushes TKD wide. He's coming back though, down Lee Campbell straight. Just battles everywhere happening here. Loads of just everyone's barging into each other. Will he go down the inside at the end? He goes for the moves. Albert shuts him off. Yellow flag in sector 3. That's Slayer. Oh, Slayer's spun again. Surprise, no surprise there really. Unfortunate for him. Era Voice here. Someone lost the car and Radion and torpedoed me in the side. Yeah, we saw on the replay, mate. Really unfortunate for you. It's a shame, really, because you got the podium last race. And it's a Slayer spins again. Yeah, he's scuffed it, isn't he? Keep an eye on these three here. TKD goes wide. But Albert Levite looking for a move on Broggers. They're still barging. He's just barging everyone, isn't he, really? Doesn't quite put it off. Going around the outside there is really hard, especially in F2 cars. To do an overtake like that in F2 cars, you have to be a genius. A full safety car then. Slayer's out of the race. He spun at the top of El Rouge, couldn't quite catch it. But as a safety car already, hopefully not as long this time. Brog is braking heavily to keep with his delta. But Becco looks to be on another podium. Broggers, sorry, up 9 places remarkably. As Nazareth is letting TKD through for some reason. That's a strange one there. Couldn't see if he maybe got past him before. Almost going around the outside. Both drivers pitting. I don't think they had to pit in the sprint race, but clearly they do. It's nearly into the back. Will be almost a penalty, but not quite. We'll have to see. They are going to pit. They're probably going on to soft tyres. See if they can capitalise. Give them on. They'll probably gain anyway, because Slayer's left. Keep in mind they'll be brought back up together anyway. We're under safety car after all. But Dido on a good recovery race. God, it takes so long to change the tyres in these F2 cars. They're changing them again? Let the man go! That was a really slow stop. That's putting behind TKD. Maybe that was a glitch with the game now, I believe. Incredibly slow stop. He doesn't have a teammate to go in before him. Not sure what happened there. Off on board with Briggsy. Looks to be on for a win. Alpha Stun's looking ready to pounce at the restart. Same for Becco. Dekunho as well. Broger's on the front. Keep in mind, Broger's had a mental recovery this race already. So, in the Dams car. But the sprint race then, very dramatic as Jack Ethan goes wide. Not really much to commentate on the safety car, is there? These two look to be getting quite close, but nothing really. I mean, they should all be getting close anyway. They're on the safety car after all. There's no surprise we have a full safety car. If anyone watching this is new here, be sure to subscribe. This happens every week, except last week because because New Year. But be sure to subscribe. Race highlights will be out at some point in the week. Ben will get to work on them whenever he can. He has to edit 2 races now, remember. But this stream is looking to be a lot shorter actually, so save some time. I've only been live for what, just under an hour, about 50 minutes have been live for. As TKD is pitting, he's just pitted for softs, but or is he pitting again? Has he got a penalty? Oh yeah, I think he's got a penalty. That's odd. I can't see him having a penalty. That's a really weird one. I don't know why he's pitted there. Hopefully the safety car ends soon, unless we all know one here wants to be on the safety car. Well, people do. I like safety cars because then we get the racing gets good again. But also I don't like the safety cars because they last about 15 years. Like the one last race felt like, because this track is so long. As Callum gets a 3-second time penalty for track extending, as everyone does. Yeah, Dida doesn't really appear to be racing, does he? He's just letting everyone through, basically. Shame, really. His AI's had a good recovery. Almost side by side, but Albert Devite going past Kieran. Not sure if they were swapped around before. That's a strange one. Swerving all over the place. Safety car should be in this. Now they haven't got many laps left to race. They'll have 3 laps left of racing. And then I'll sod off. And I don't know, I'll go play a game with my mates. I don't know, I'll go hop on, I'll see if I can hop on a call with Ethan. I'll link Ethan's channel if anyone's here from Group 2 and they want to watch Ethan's stream, who commentates Group 2, is my mate. I'll put a link in the description after the stream. Saw a few bottom safety cars in this lap then. We'll hop all the way up to Briggsy. And we'll do it on Alpha Stuns, because then he's going to be the one that wants to get a good restart. Now when does Briggsy decide to go? He'll probably go at the exit of the bus stop chicane. Most people do. Gives them less of a time for slipstream. Or is he gone already? Well, I don't know actually. Yeah, he's gone now. Good restart from Briggsy as Becco nearly loses the back end out of the last corner. Manages to hold third, luckily. He's going to get a massive points haul for today. Good on him, he's had a phenomenal weekend as Jack Ethan goes for a move around the outside. Nearly pulls it off, but not quite. He'll be in the slipstream now. All the way up the Kemmel Straight as Nazareth gets past Dido, and Callum's going to be doing the same soon. TK Dido putting the pressure on any attempt separating these two. Will probably be an easy move at the top of the hill. One attempt separating these two then. And over here as well, as Jack Ethan goes for the move side by side behind them as well. Down the inside, so close between them. Broggers leaves no room, but thank God Jack Ethan is still racing. Kieran then is going to be capitalising on that as well. He gets a phenomenal exit out of that corner. Does he go for a move of the hairpin? He thinks about it. Jack Ethan goes wide. That's going to give him the position, and maybe even give up the position to Albert DeVite as well. As he goes wide again. It's just that little being squeezed off has completely ruined his concentration, as Broggers has spun off into the wall. Still in the race though, but another accident then already. No safety car. He's still in the race after all. Luckily, because I don't think Nazareth though. Fifth is in his sights. He has the pace. He goes for the move on Kieran. Oh, and gets put in the wall out by and goes to the back of Aldevite and spins around with them both. Both of them spinning, basically synchronised. I didn't know this was the local synchronised Olympic synchronised swimming, but there you go. Unfortunate for Nazareth. Down in last place. No points then for this race for him, as Tigany goes wide and gets a penalty. Jack Ethan breaks incredibly early, basically opens the door for Kieran. Goes for the switchback, slight contact. Gets a phenomenal exit, nearly loses the back end though. Now just a straight jerk race to the first corner. Just see who will come out on top. Goes down the inside, goes incredibly deep though. That's going to give up the position to both drivers. Both drivers got to Jack Ethan and Kieran both go wide. TKD's now up into 5th. Nazareth's already back up into 10th. Amazingly. So he'll get 1 point at least. 2 tenths separating these two. Wouldn't be surprised to see another move again. Coming down the Kemmel Straight, he's using the slipstream. He goes to the inside, barging each other. Still side by side, and Jack Ethan's got through to 5th. And Kieran's coming back at him now to the hairpin. Down the inside he goes. Both have front wing damage, so a fantastic move from him. Just cleanly swoops ahead of him. Becco's fallen down to 3rd, but he's still keeping with Alpha Stuns. It's basically a battle for 2nd at this point. Everyone's just battling away pretty much, as Kieran goes incredibly slow. TKD so fast through here. Must be running a bit more downforce than the rest. Keep an eye on this in a bit. Becco though, yeah, he could get him. He could probably get 2nd back. Kieran gets a terrible exit again, or not as good an exit as TKD. TKD's just waiting in the wings, we'll say. for an opportunity for him to park. He knows he can do it. 2 temps separating Alpha Stuns and Becco. Becco won't go for a move, he's way too far back. Nearly going to the back of Alpha's probably feeling the pressure by now as he goes slightly off the track. That'll probably just be a warning for him, nothing too serious. As onto the grass, there's nearly 3 wide into the bus stop chicane. TKD goes as Jack Ethan cuts it and spins round. I know Kieran spins round, sorry. That's ruined his race. Jack Ethan though got a penalty for corner cutting. Clearly it's 1 temp separating these two here. This is the fight for second place as Nazareth gets fastest lap. That's an extra point for him. And down the Kemmel straight we go. Should be a relatively easy pass just using DRS as that's up into second. He's keeping there though. Alpha Stuns. Yeah, he's passed and back up into second place. Only 5 temps separating these two as Callum gets another penalty. Down the Kemmel straight, it's close between them. Not close enough for an overtake though. These two though, still going at it. Goes onto the dev curb, doesn't get a bad exit. That's literally like the curb at Bahrain, not on the outside. We've got 2 laps left. Briggsy looking to finally win a race. Hopefully I'm not jinxing it. If he bins it now, I'm going to be so upset. 4 temps separating Nazareth with Brogus. Brogus definitely very slow as he goes past him easily, almost colliding. Keep in mind, Brogus had that incident as he pushes him wide. They're both gone right off the track. As Nazareth spins and into the wall he goes, and into the tyre barrier. Just this race has gone from bad to worse for him. He's still going to finish in the points though, if he finishes at all. I guarantee he's absolutely raging, unfortunately. He's that's the thing. He gets such highs and just goes to such lows. He won at Lebanon's and he crashed at Spain in the F1 part earlier, late last year. He won at Silverstone, won last race at Belgium here a few minutes back. Had a terrible second race. It's a shame really, because he's definitely one of the quickest drivers in the league, and no doubt about it. That second separating these two here. Becco's pulling away from Alpha Stuns. No DRS between these two. The grid's basically spread out now. Not quite out now the stream. It's the last lap anyway. We'll see if anything could happen. It's F2 after all. Something always happens. 8 temps separating these two. Callum got a shocking exit. Should see a battle between these two. We'll keep our eye on it because Briggsley hopefully is going to win. Callum goes wide again. Oh, Kieran nearly spins. Holds it though, luckily. Callum's definitely slow. I think it's either Kieran or Callum that get a bad exit out of Callum. I think Callum has damage or his tyres are going off, or both. Probably both, let's be real. We'll hop back on board with this. We'll see what it's like through here. Does he get a bad exit? He goes for the move. Does he get out? He's passed. Good move there. Leaves the space. Good move there. As Briggsy comes around the last corner to finally win a race in IFR. It's been a long time coming. He'll definitely enjoy this one. I'm so happy for him. He's finally won. It's been coming since I've started commentating. And he's finally pulled it off. Fantastic race for him. Done everything he needed to. Definitely probably most deserved winner of probably since I've started actually. So someone spun at the last corner. I think, yeah, Callum spun at the last corner. He got a puncture as well. I'm not sure how that's happened. Maybe he just spun and smashed into the wall. So Callum then pulling a Lewis Hamilton and finishing with a puncture. Only difference between them both is that, well, Oh, well, Callum didn't win, did he? Unfortunately. But that's the end of the races for today. The stream's literally basically an hour long. What a crazy, crazy second race we've just witnessed. Callum's got about... Currently, Callum's going slower than James May. That is the end. Of the race. Brogue is surprisingly getting driver today. He did have a decent recovery, to be fair to him, after crashing. It's so hard to keep my eye on everything that was happening, just... Yeah, I had the really bland parts and the really good parts. But there's your winner. Briggsy finally winning. He's had it coming for a long time, he'll definitely enjoy this one. But Becco, though, on the podium again. A double podium for Becco. It's a good race for him, very good race. Well, a good weekend more. Gonna bring home a valuable haul of points. Same for Briggsy as well. There's your finishing results then for the race. Briggsy finally winning his first race of since I've started commentating anyway. Followed by Becco, Alpha Stuns, Kunha, TKD, Bruggers in 6th, Jack Ethan behind, Kieran, Callum and Nazareth unfortunately in 10th after getting caught up in multiple accidents. Albert de Voigt finishing behind him in 11th, with Dido with the AI controlling him finishing in 12th, and the DNS were Slayer and Era Voice. Era Voice unfortunately crashing down the Camel Straight. Anyway, that is the end of today's fiasco. If you want to keep up to date with me, follow me on Twitter. Links always in the channel description and stuff. It's in basically in every video description as well. It's just Ajax Reloaded with no spaces, with capital A and capital R. But that's the end of today's shenanigans. Quite the race, if I do say so myself. But thanks to everyone for once again being here. Highlights will be out whenever Ben gets them done. Thanks for your support as always. Up to 73 subscribers now. Getting closer and closer to that goal of 100. Commentary is going as well as ever. Proud to hear everyone here enjoys it. It's good to hear. Anyway, thanks to everyone here. Thanks to Ben for modding the chat as usual. Thanks to John for your slightly odd messages, but there you go. Thanks to everyone who watched. And I'll see you all next week, hopefully.